In this episode of Pop Culture Weekly, I talk with the cast and crew of The Conjuring Last Rites, and I sit down for a long talk with the amazing Bailey Zimmerman. Let's go!
Welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon from iHeartRadio. Your pop culture news, views, reviews, and celebrity interviews on all the movies, TV, music, and pop culture you crave weekly. Here's Kyle McMahon.
What's up, my pop culture people? It's your boy, Kyle McMahon, and welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon, the show where I get to talk with some of the biggest names in entertainment while you sit and relax and judge me for fangirling too hard. Today's episode, I'm stoked because it's really stacked. We're talking about The Conjuring Last Rites, the terrifying, demon-filled jump scare franchise that always keeps me coming back, even though I sleep with the lights on for like a week after. I've got director Michael Chavez, franchise mastermind and horror legend James Wan, and the ultimate ghost-busting power couple, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. And then we switch gears in a big way with country superstar Bailey Zimmerman, who currently has the #1 song in country music with Backup Plan featuring Luke Combs. This man and I talked for almost an hour. His life, his career, and yes, that live incident. So grab your popcorn or your holy water, because here we go. First up, the man in the director's chair for The Conjuring Last Rites, Michael Chavez. He is the brave soul responsible for actually wrangling demons and ghosts and actors who have to scream on cue. Honestly, directing a Conjuring movie sounds like my personal nightmare, but also kind of awesome. Anyway, Michael is no stranger to the Conjuring franchise. He directed The Curse of La Llorona, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, The Nun 2, and now, of course, The Conjuring Last Rites. All right, here he is, Michael Chavez.
Thank you so much, Michael, for speaking with me. I really appreciate it. I love Last Rites. I mean, I love the whole franchise, but Last Rites is such a beautiful full circle moment for the franchise. Did you feel that going into, to working on this? Like, this is kind of heavy for fans of, nearly, a decade and a half.
No, totally. Thanks for saying that. Honestly, the full circle thing is something I really wanted to get. It was something that it was like when we would test it with audiences, they would say that, and I was like, oh my God, thank God we landed it. We landed the plane. It was, kind of a great, amazing, big responsibility of just, this is a series that so many people love, and telling a final chapter is great opportunity and also like really challenging. And I honestly, with this, like one of the big references that I would use as we were developing it is Logan. Because whenever you kind of get into these like last chapter, movies, there's so many kind of great references. And, is it like an end game sort of thing where we throw all the demons at them, or what do we do? And what I loved about Logan, and that kind of became the North Star, is it didn't have that. It wasn't like they're throwing Sabretooth and Magneto in. It's like they're telling an emotional story, and then is going to bring us to the finish line. And people love the Warrens so much that I think it was just important to really bring their story and their family story to a close.
And it was beautifully done. There was a lot of mirrors, both kind of prominently present and more subtly. Was that? Obviously, everything you've done is intentional, but what was the representation behind that?
No, totally. The mirror is actually within the film, real mirror, and I would encourage fans to stay to the very end after the credits. There's it's not a tease for another movie, but there is something that is just this kind of great find that we wanted to put in the film. Obviously, there's a lot of mirroring within the story. It's like, mirroring the past and the present, and, Lorraine as a young woman to Lorraine as she is now in the present, or the present of the story. And then also between just mother and daughter, and just how our children are reflections of ourselves. And I think that was the Richard and Ian are writers. They did a pass right after David Leslie Johnson. They're the ones who actually introduced the idea of the mirror, and I just thought it was such a smart addition, and it just, I think, complemented the whole mother-daughter story so beautifully.
I've got to ask you, you did The Curse of La Llorona. Is that it? Can we get definitively, is that in the Conjuring universe or not?
No one
I've heard
knows. No one knows. That's what's so funny. That is such like, the real technically it is kind of become adopted. It's the adopted child of the Conjuring universe. It's technically not, because Peter Safran isn't the producer on it, and Peter, this is Peter's baby as much as it is James's. And but it was, when we made it, it was Walt Amata, who was an executive at New Line, was like basically asked a favor to include like a little glimpse of Annabelle, which kind of like introduced it almost as if it was part of the universe. And so then there's kind of been a little bit of debate about that. And if in respect to Peter, I have to officially say it's not. But if you ask me, yes, it definitely is.
Thank you. I can't wait for everybody to see The Conjuring Last Rites. It is so awesome. And I hope that I get to talk to you again I hope for more Conjuring somehow, some way in the future. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks so much. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Michael Chavez. All right. Now, if horror had a Mount Rushmore, James Wan's face would definitely be up there, right next to Freddy, Jason, and probably Annabelle just glaring at us. He co-created the Conjuring universe, and somehow he keeps finding new ways to make us jump out of our seats. And his resume is basically a greatest hits list of like modern horror. He co-created Saw. Yes, that Saw, which redefined the kind of, gore porn genre in the early 2000s and has kept it going. Then he gave us Insidious, of course, The Conjuring, and he turned a creepy porcelain doll into a household name with Annabelle. And because he's apparently allergic to sleep, he also directed Aquaman and its sequel, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So basically, James Wan has either terrified you, thrilled you, or made you cheer in a movie theater. Sometimes all three in the same year, and even in the same movie. Here he is, James Wan.
Thank you so much, James, for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Carl. Great to be speaking with you.
So, first of all, I'm a huge fan of your work. Malignant, The Conjuring universe, Insidious, Saw. I mean, just love your work.
Thank you.
Of course, and the Conjuring franchise is one of my favorites of all time. Why was this chapter important for you to tell here?
Well, I mean, this chapter is the final chapter, and so it was one that we felt, after more than a decade, that it was finally time to kind of wrap it up. We've been through this, on many movies, like within the Conjuring universe. We've had we've been very fortunate to have a lot of successful movies within this universe, and so we felt like we want to go out on a high. We feel like now is the time. We don't want to be going out as the movie is degrading, right? And so we felt like this was a good time. But yeah, needless to say, it's really bittersweet for all of us involved. And but we wanted to make the best movie we can that really justifies the franchise and that is warranted and worthy for the fans.
I think, as a huge fan, I think it does just that. Now, David Zaslav, I believe, at one point said that this is kind of the closing of phase one, and there may be a phase two with potentially a TV series or whatever. Is any of that still in the works?
I mean, I guess, from the studio side of things, everything is a possibility, I guess, yeah, it's interesting that we're pulling a page from the Marvel playbook here.
Right.
I guess phase one is a way to look at it. And so there's possibilities of phase two, just purely from a creative standpoint. The Warrens have so many stories, so many different cases, and it's not crazy that they are other stories that we could be looking into. but I do think it's a bit early to be talking about any other phases. For me, I just want to focus on this one and getting this one right and getting this one out there to the audiences.
Absolutely. And, what for me, I think has been so important to why these films have been so good is the relationship between the Warrens, Vera and
Right.
Patrick, and how well they do that. How key was that for you after doing the first film? Now that you're doing potentially the last film, did you watch that develop? Did you change anything based on their chemistry and, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think if anything, we lean into their chemistry more than anything, right? That's pretty much what I discovered in the first film. We all knew collectively going into the first Conjuring because it's based on real characters, real events. We wanted to ground the movie as much as we can, right? And what I learned from Insidious when I made the first Insidious film was that people really loved the more realistic aspect of it. And so what I learned from Insidious, I parlay that into The Conjuring. And I knew that if I can create real people with real emotions and real issues and real traumas, right, that they're dealing with, then the scares would actually play better. They'll be a lot scary, right? And so then I'm very lucky that I was able to get Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga to come play with me on the first movie, and then seeing how great they were together, just their chemistry, just the way they riff off each other, and just watching that really did push me as I was shooting it because filmmaking is a very organic process, and so I just started just like shifting and pushing things and navigating things towards more about their relationship, the family dynamic, and we knew that we want this last movie to finish leaning into the whole family aspect of everything. We knew that the family aspect really lends itself to the emotion of this world, and it was the right thing to do. To bring in the daughter Judy and to bring in the Tony Spera character into this as well, and just really, really play into all of that.
I think you've done it masterfully. I love the film. I can't wait till it comes out so I can talk to people about it. But thank you so much, James. I really appreciate it.
Awesome, Carl. Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, our legend, James Wan. And now the first couple of ghost hunting. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. These two, as Ed and Lorraine Warren, have really been the heart of the Conjuring movies since the very beginning. They are amazingly charming, they've got a spooky side, and they somehow make fighting demons look like couples therapy. Let's get into it. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
Wow.
I love the whole franchise, but this film is so great. I think it's such a powerful way to potentially, to close this chapter on the story. You guys have lived with these characters for over a decade. What was that like to step on, set, knowing this may be the final chapter here?
Not maybe. It is the final chapter.
I
That's
just
it.
hate hearing that.
I know. I know, but that's it. That's it. It's the end of the road for these two. And they are the ultimate team, aren't they? I mean, their bond is a testament to like almost 2 decades of love, all served up in iconic polyester pants and skirts and weird ass updos and it's been a trip. It's been a beautiful trip, but this one took a lot out of us, man. It is that last one, and we had the stakes are higher than ever on this one.
How about for you, Patrick? Did you sense that weight, going for this one?
I think because I think in order to kind of feel the weight of something, you have to be disconnected as an actor and be able to embrace it as a person. And that doesn't happen on these films because the work is so full on. So by the time we ended the film and you're you wish you could have that great goodbye and just an easy day of work and get to hug everybody and you have a cake or whatever and go, oh my God, it's over, and you cry and you say thank you. I mean, this was like, if you've seen the movie, the climax, this is like the climax to end all climaxes of a film. I mean, it's brutal. And we did that for what seemed like a week straight. And we knew, because there were wind machines and everything else and testing that they would do later, we'd probably come back and revisit it, which we did. So there was never like a proper goodbye. It was just this train of emotion and raw energy kind of going towards the end. So we didn't really have that moment of feeling the weight of the series, because also there's shooting, there's additional photography, and then there's this, like we're doing now. And then there's the movie coming out and sitting back and going, gosh, did it land with an audience? So it comes in phases. So we're still not done with this. I think it's probably going to take it'll probably take, for me, it'll probably be like a year and a half where I'll go, should I grow my sideburns out to play Ed? You're like, nope, not happening. So that's when it'll hit me.
These films for me are very much, besides about family, there's a faith versus kind of this supernatural, element. Did it change either of your belief in, supernatural or faith, or affect it at all?
No, to me, it's a reminder of the power of love. Like it's I just love portraying the dynamic between Ed and Lorraine. It is about so much a focus on like sacrifice and resilience and finding strength through weakness and perseverance and commitment to each other. And now I've forgotten the question. What was the question?
Faith versus.
Yeah, faith. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like playing all those, hitting those notes and coming back time and time again and saying like, oh, like this is another opportunity to delve into their love and to sacrifice. And like, it always is that I don't know, just focusing on that statement of, fear is this crazy ass storm in our lives. And love is that umbrella that's going to shield us from it. Right. And just tapping into that very simple notion and concept has been beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you both so much. I really love the film, and congratulations on it.
Thanks. See you.
Take care.
Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. Love them. Love them as the Warrens, and I love the Conjuring Last Rites. I mean, I love the whole Conjuring franchise, but I really hope this isn't the end of this franchise. It's too good to just stop. And they have so many things to do. And they're, Vera and Patrick are young. They could be doing this for another 30 years if they want. I have a whole guide to the Conjuring universe. I put a link in the show notes so you can check out my guide and my review of the Conjuring Last Rites, and check out my guide to the Conjuring franchise universe, the Conjuring universe franchise, I guess. All right, we're going to take a quick break to pay the bills, but when we come back, I sit down for nearly an hour with one of the biggest names in country music, Bailey Zimmerman. You don't want to miss this one. Stick around. I'll see you in 60. All right, we are back, and this is one I've been so excited about. Bailey Zimmerman currently has the #1 country song in America with Luke Combs' Backup Plan. It's off his brand new album, Different Night, Same Rodeo, which is awesome. And I have a react video coming to that for when I listen to the album the first time. That'll be on the YouTube channel. In any event, Bailey and I sat down for nearly an hour and nothing was off the table. We talked about his life story, what he'd be doing and his life story is pretty incredible. We talked about what he'd be doing if he wasn't making music, that live incident that went viral. Bailey kept it real, and it's honestly one of my favorite conversations I've ever had on this show. Here he is, Bailey Zimmerman.
Bro,
What up?
How are
What's
you?
going on? Oh, amazing, dude. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to talk to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it was cool hearing your story, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's a weird industry, man. It's
It
weird.
is. It is. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
here I am now doing this, so which
God
I
has a
love.
plan for all of us, man. It's really
Absolutely.
cool. Yeah.
So, well, first of all, bro, welcome, Bailey Zimmerman. I really appreciate you speaking with me, brother.
Oh, yeah, dude. Thanks for having me on. This is sick.
Of course. And we're going to talk about your new album, Different Night, Same Rodeo, but I want to go back for a moment, if you would.
Cool.
You were working on, construction, pipeline, things like that, and then you started uploading to TikTok. Was being an artist back then ever like in your kind of life plan?
No, man, I had never even thought about doing music at all. I'd always like kind of dreamed of being like famous and stuff. I think every kid does, I guess, like watching Justin Bieber do it and then watching just all these people I've watched, Kane Brown on Facebook type thing.
Yeah.
So it was like, man, how cool would that be if that was my life? But it's not. So I'm going to go to work today, right? So no, man, it was never in the cards. I never, I didn't come from a musical family. I didn't sing in church. I never sang in my life before
Wow.
TikTok. Yeah.
That's incredible. And what was the moment that you were like, okay, this isn't just a hobby anymore. Like this is becoming something. This is something now.
Dude, it was such a weird thing for me because so I started on TikTok doing lifted trucks. Like I grew up loving lifted trucks and fast cars, and I'd always wanted lifted trucks. So when I turned 18, when I went to go pipeline, I was making enough money to build a truck. So I built a truck with my family. My uncle Brent helped me. My brother John helped me build a truck, and I started posting that on TikTok. And that's what kind of got me a bunch of followers at first was like my truck went kind of viral in the truck talk space, I guess, on TikTok. And so I started actually going around to all of these like truck shows all around the US. And I would travel in my truck and go and meet up with these buddies that I would get to know on TikTok first, and then I would meet them in real life. And so I was just trying to I was kind of growing a following, meeting new friends in the truck scene. And then one night we were drinking beer around a campfire and I started singing, just, buzzed up, having a great time with your buddies. A good song comes on, and I started singing and they were like, man, you got a voice, dude. And I'm like, nah, I just, what are you talking about? And you're like, no, your voice was really cool. And that kind of inspired me, I guess, just a little bit. I was like, oh, that's cool. I've never had anybody tell me I've got a cool voice, And so that's when I started just singing a little more at the campfires. And I had a couple more people tell me man, your voice was really cool. And that kind of got my brain what does that mean? I don't know. So I just thought it was cool that people thought my voice was cool. So I kind of in secrecy, started singing a little bit more on my own. And from the time somebody told me, hey, your voice is cool, to the time I released my first song was probably 2 months.
Wow.
So, and this is why I'm man, I'm just so thankful for God, man, because I really feel like it's my path. So when I started singing, I didn't post anything on TikTok yet. I posted something on Snapchat because I thought, oh, maybe this will give me some girls or something, me singing on Snapchat, right? So I put it up and it didn't get any girls. But this guy from my hometown named Gavin Lucas split up and was like, hey, man, I didn't know you sang. And I'm like, dude, I don't. I just had, I tried singing the other day around a campfire. Somebody told me my voice was good and I just put it on Snapchat. I honestly thought I was trying to get some girls, but what's up? And he was like, well, dude, I've been secretively writing songs for years, but I didn't really want to show them to anybody because I don't know, I just have been writing. And I'm like, well, dude, we should get together. And he was like, yeah, I would love to hear you sing some of my songs. And I'm like,
Wow.
okay. So then when we got together, that was about a month into being man, do I have a cool voice? And then, man, 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, me and Gavin got together, like maybe our 10th time getting together. And he was like, man, we should try to write a real song. And I was like, you know what? I'll try it. Let's do it. And so we sat down that night and we wrote my first song, Never Coming Home. And after we wrote, it was only the first verse. I wrote the first verse, and then it was like 2 a.m. and we were going to go home. And he was like, hey, let's record this so we remember where we're at. Because like I said, at this point, I had never written songs before. I had never sang really before. I have no idea how to play guitar. I have no idea what I'm doing. And this song was just like, man, this is really cool. Like, I really like this song. And it was the first time I'd ever, after I recorded it, it was the first time I'd ever heard my voice over like truck speakers, like through Bluetooth, right? So I was kind of getting hyped up and I was like, man, this is pretty fire. Like, I love this. I love this song. I've never heard my voice like this. This is cool. So I got home and I was like, man, I think I'm going to post this on TikTok. I had like 70,000 followers at the time from the lifted truck space. And I called Gavin. I was like, hey, man, you care if I post this video because you're in it? And he was like, oh, dude, that'd be cool, man. Post it and see if anybody likes it. And he's like, man, I'll make you a deal. If it gets some views tomorrow, let's figure out, like, when it gets some views, we'll figure out how to record it. Because we thought people recorded in their houses, right? We thought, we didn't know you could just go to a studio and pay them and they would record your song. So get up the next morning and my phone is like exploding. And I turn over and it's got like, dude, the video has like 1 million views at like in the morning it did. And there was like so many comments. And it was cool because people were like, yo, we didn't know you sang, man. We thought you did trucks. And I was like, I don't. I'm just here, man. But like, I will if you guys want me to. I'm trying to, like, I literally remember, like, I'm trying to figure this out. I have no idea what's going on. Like, I don't know. And from that point forward, that morning is when I was like, I'm going to figure this out. Like, I had been praying a lot about what my purpose was and praying for God to give me something to chase. And I really thought that was the truck stuff because it was going really well and there was brands reaching out and it was making me a little bit of money. And it was just kind of like, maybe I do this. And then all of a sudden, like, what I was praying for just like kind of came to life. And he gave me this massive opportunity of like, yo, here's some views, go chase this. And since then, I've not let up. It was like, yo, I'm going to figure out like, okay, like to go in a little bit more depth, man. Like I remember that day I looked up, okay, all right, if I'm getting 1 million views on this video, how can I turn that into like streams? And how can I get people to listen to this song? And I was like, okay, what is streaming? How much is, so 1 million streams at that time was $7,000. I'm like, okay, a million views, I could try to get 1 million streams. And we went to the studio and it was $3,500 or $3,000 to record the song. And I didn't have no money. So I remember that day I went back to my mom after waking up, quitting my job. I went to Gavin's. We started trying to figure out what is going on, and we found a recording studio that would do it. And I went to my mom, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a shock, but I quit my job, and I'm going to do music. And she was like, music? What are you talking about? And I'm like, look at this video. And I showed her the video, and it was like, this is a song I wrote. Like, I wrote this with Gavin. Like, we wrote this last night, and it got, like, almost 2 million views already. And she was like, okay. And I was like, and I need $1,500 to record this song. And at the time we didn't have any money. Like we grew up, just like everybody else in the world.
Yeah.
And, so we didn't have any money, but she scraped together $1,500. And I was like, Mom, if you can give me $1,500 to go record this song and I get 1 million streams, that's 7,000. I can pay you back double if you just help me do this. Cause I really want to chase this. And, it's crazy to look back now on all that because it's like, dang, all this stuff happened and my mom investing 1,500 into me and like just that part of life was so much fun because it was like that moment where I was like, I'm going to chase this and there's nobody going to change my mind. I'm not doing anything else. I'm going to do this. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It was a little different, man. It was like, wake up one day, oh my gosh, everybody loves my song. I'm going to try to record it. And now, dude, here we are. We got a freaking another #1. It's like, yeah, it's so crazy, man. Yeah, it's that was the craziest ride because you're just like, you're off like faith. You're like, I'm quitting this job that pays me really good and I'm going to go chase something that I feel like God's telling me to do. And man, I'm so glad I listened, you know. But yeah, that was the moment that I was like, yo, I only started this a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. This song's going big. I'm quitting my job. Like, I'm doing it. Like, like, if he's telling me to chase anything, this is definitely it, you know?
Yeah, he had a different plan for you for sure than you have for yourself.
Yeah.
If you, you know, alternate timeline, multiverse, if you hadn't stepped out on your faith there, where do you think you would be today?
Only God knows, truly. I have no idea because at that time, man, I didn't like my job that I had because it was so scattered. It was like, oh, you would have work like these months and then you wouldn't have work these months. But then sometimes you would have work like it was just too not like it just like wasn't enough, I guess. And I didn't really like the job anyways. And so like at the time before I started music, I was like behind on my truck payment. I had no money. My job wasn't really existing anymore at the time. So I was kind of like, God, I don't know what to do. You know, I thought I was chasing the right thing and I thought this is what I was going to do, but I don't know what to do. And I'm giving it to you. Like, give me something to chase. Give me something to anything, you know? So I was really in a bad spot before music. So like, yeah, God knows where I'd be, man.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people, you know, you have had such a meteoric rise in a relatively short amount of time. Do you ever feel that people may underestimate that there still was a struggle and all that? There still was a hustle and, you know, hard times that you had to go through. Do you ever feel that people underestimate that aspect of it?
You know, it's as much hard work as this is and has been, and like you said, there is a grind to it. You know, I have had to grind every single day for the last 5 years. Since I had that opportunity, I have not slept. I'm constantly working. But at the same time, I'm so blessed and I'm so fortunate to have a dream to chase, have opportunity every single day. It's just like I know that people would die and kill to be in my position. And that's where I'm like, if you underestimate it, that's okay. Cause I'm so blessed that I don't care if you think I work hard or don't. Cause I'm like, dude, I'm so blessed that there is a grind, but I know what the real grind is.
Yeah.
The real grind is, you know, digging ditches and setting cones out for construction and going and working, you know, 20 hours straight. Not like that is true. And doing it when you hate it, right? So I had a job that I hated and I was grinding, working my ass off every single day in the heat. And it just, so now every single day I wake up, dude, and I get to go into an air conditioned room and write songs and get to do what I do. I'm like, yo, I'm blessed, man. So there is a grind, but I know there's people out there that are working 10 times harder than me every day. So it's like, hey, I'm blessed. I'm grateful just to be here.
Yeah, I love that attitude. And speaking of writing, you know, so I was telling your manager before we started that I'm not a giant fan of country. And I saw, you know, one of your videos on Insta or TikTok or something early on, and I was like, what? Who is this? Like his voice is incredible. And then when Religiously the album came out, Religiously the song, I was like, oh, okay. Like I was hooked from then on out. You know, I also your voice, your showmanship, the whole package, I just, you know, fell in love with that and the rawness that you have, you know, that you are humble and you are acknowledging of where you came from and you know, and I just love all of that.
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
Of course. Thanks. Thank you for sharing, you know, for sharing that and sharing your vulnerability vulnerability, which is my question is, as you've been writing, was there ever a time, you obviously talk about real life and heartbreak and all. Is there ever something so far that you've been like, that's a little too vulnerable for me, or that we've ended up hearing, or that we've ended up not hearing? Like, has there been that for you in this process?
No. And that, music has always been vulnerability. That's what music is to me. Like, and that's what is so fun is I've always been such a deep person, but nobody ever wants to talk deep. So when I got into music and everybody always wants to talk so deep about
Yeah.
things and write all these really vulnerable things, that's like, I'm such an open book that I love it. Like, I'm the quickest person to just meet you and tell you exactly what I got going on in life.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where it's just, I get it. Some artists and some writers are like, oh, I don't know if I can tell people that, but I'm like, getting it off my chest has always been the best for me.
Yeah.
So that's how it started when I started writing music. Was I was just I say it in a lot of the shows, vulnerability and like being vulnerable and like therapeutic is writing to me. Like when I was sitting there and like trying to write that my first song, I'll never forget it. I just started writing from what I had been through, things that had happened that was really recent back then. And that's what I've always done is just try to be like so open and treat it like therapy. Because then I write this song and it's like, man, I get paid to talk about my problems in a song and write about my problems. And then it gets to go and help so many other people that are going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think it goes back to like, man, it's like God's plan for me, man, because I love talking about my problems and people love hearing about it because it feels so relatable, I guess, or they can just like, they heal from it. So no, man, I kind of put everything out there. And I really think that was my motto in the beginning on social media, writing songs, everything was like, be all out there, be exactly who you are and never hold anything back, because that was an opportunity. If you hold it back, that was an opportunity for somebody to relate to what you're going through or what you've been through. And it's like, that's just the motto for me. So it's been awesome being so vulnerable and so being able to just throw everything out there. Because like, yeah, it's just life, right? It's like free
Absolutely.
therapy.
And I imagine it's freeing, right? Like, because then you don't have to worry about, I can't expose this. You've already exposed it all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm out there, man. Oh yeah.
What has been, you've been under this microscope, obviously, for the last 5 years. What has been the hardest aspect for you to adjust to? Because you went from one life to a whole different life.
Man, I'm still the same me that started. I'm still the same 20-year-old, but I would say I would say I just had to like grow up quicker and like I call it getting my shit together quicker to where I feel like because I was so like, because there is a lot of people watching me, I guess. I was like, hey man, you're going to have the self-awareness to not go out and make the mistakes that others have. You're going to have to really learn from that before you do them. And I've made my fair share of mistakes, but as far as like touring and girls do not mix. I can't, that just gets you in trouble. I had to like really learn that. And, any other, I feel like any other, man, 20-year-old that you put on a tour with Morgan Wallen, that it was crazy out there, and like, so I would say like that aspect of it, learning like, hey man, you can't like, the temptation was crazy. So like, it was like the temptation of drinking too much, the temptation of going out with girls, the temptation of just not being who I really am. That was like a weird thing to go through. And like, okay, I'm going to have to figure out how to like act like I've already made the mistake and I've learned like, but I haven't. But so, yeah, I would say that was like, man, I went from nobody watching me, and I was still a great person, but I was just like any other 16-year-old. I was out there drinking beer and
Of
hooking up with
course.
girls, and same thing, just like anybody else. But I guess not everybody else, but where I come from, that's the thing, I guess. So growing up really quick, that was like, okay, you had your fun, dude, but now you have an opportunity and you can't mess it up, and good luck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, growing up, figuring it out really quick.
We're going to take a quick break to pay the bills, and when we come back, more with Bailey Zimmerman. Everything you want to know. See you in 60. All right. Thanks for supporting our sponsors and the show. Let's go.
Well, and one thing that I've learned from talking to so many people like yourself at a high level is you really have to know who you are, because the temptation is so strong in so many different directions, and you have access to pretty much anything you want at any time, that if you're not truly in tune with who you are, you can get lost really quick,
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, and I would even say I'm definitely not perfect. I got lost along the way. The last couple years, I've definitely had some like ups and downs and stuff. That's life. You're gonna have that. You're gonna learn, gonna grow. But exactly what you just said is like, man, being able to drink so much and have so much fun, and nobody really cares, and it's kind of part of the job. Everybody's just like having so much fun, and that can get carried away really quick. And I had to learn that, like, hey, whoa, you got to chill out, man. You can't be doing this or that. So, I mean, definitely, you got to know who you are for sure. And that's where I think I'm at now.
Yeah.
Is like, I'm totally grounded again. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to write more songs. I'm ready. I actually experienced so much the last 2 or 3 years. I just put out this album, but I'm ready to write songs again. I'm like, I'm back to who I truly, truly am. I don't drink that much anymore. I have really got off just like partying in general. I'm super focused on like family and making sure that my people are taken care of. Just kind of like the things you should be,
Yeah.
focused on. I feel like I'm back there, and yeah, but there for it got a little wonky for a little while. It got a little roller coaster, but we made it. But yeah, it's crazy.
And you were, if you're talking about an incident that I think you're talking about, you were very open about that as well. If you're talking about, the incident with on
Cancun.
Exactly. You
Yep.
came out and did a video and was like, hey, messed up. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do better next time. A lot of people would be terrified to do that,
Yeah, and I think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is just like the vulnerability of like, I am totally okay with everybody watching me all the time. Rock, I love it, but also understand I'm still a human.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely gonna mess up from time to time on certain things. I'm 25.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, and that's where, dude, it was bad. It was so bad. And now I can laugh about it because it's been long enough. But man, the reason I made the video too in the first place was I really just felt bad for the fans that support me, and for the people that know that's like not who I am.
Right.
I just felt so bad. I was like, honestly, I'm not apologizing to anybody that's hating on it. I'm kind of just apologizing to like all these people that have supported me and I let down. Because that's over the last 5 years, I feel like I've built a family across the world, man, just everywhere. I know all these people and they've just supported me. And when you make a mistake like that goes viral like that, you just like, yep, I got to man up. I got to take accountability for my actions. And nobody can be mad at the guy that's like, yeah, I messed up. Like,
yeah.
I messed up, and I'm going to do better next time for sure. And that's also a thing too, is like my dad always taught me like, hey, you can apologize, but if you do it again, that apology doesn't matter at all because you didn't learn anything.
Wow.
So that's where I'm at now, is like, since then, man, I've really been just like grinding, like, okay, like I said, I'm not drinking barely any that much anymore. Especially not on like show days or whatever we've got going. But, yeah, just like taking accountability and being like, I will be better next time, because there's not going to be this next time. Like, I'm not going to ever let this happen again because I value my career too much, and I value the love of everybody's that's helped me build this career too much to where it's like, okay, yep, you got to get your shit together, dude.
And like you said, we all make mistakes. It's all about accountability, and you did that, and I think fans respected and appreciated that. So,
Yeah, hopefully, right? I was like, hey, that's all I got.
absolutely. And that's all you can do. So, one of the things that I love about you is that you have done all these different collabs, one of
Yeah.
which, just hit number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. You've done stuff with Diplo, who I love, Jonas Brothers. Like, why has that been important to you?
Oh man. I would say that it's not like always been like important, I guess, to me, but at first I didn't do any collabs at all. And there was one I did that I didn't really know the people at all I did it with. And it kind of like was just a weird thing. And it was really cool. And it was like, yeah, this is awesome. But I kind of realized I want to know who I'm collabing with. And like, I want to know. And that's what kind of sent me on like collabs. I was like, man, who could I reach out to that's just like crazy? Like, who could I reach out to and like see if and I think they just kind of randomly became a part of my music. Like I would say I wasn't like, I want a lot of collabs on this record.
Yeah.
I want to do all this stuff. It was kind of like the Big X collab. I was sitting in the same spot I'm sitting right now, and he just texted me randomly, and it was the song. And he was like, hey man, do you like this song? And I'm like, bro, do I like the song? Dude, it's freaking smash. This thing's sick. So same thing with like Luke Combs. I remember
Which, by the way, congratulations. It is number 1 right now.
Thanks so much, dude. Thanks.
So dope.
It's crazy even talking about this because I posted it on social media, but I took a selfie with Luke in October of 2024. And it's not even October 2025, and we have the number 1 song on radio. It's so crazy, man. And same thing. I got this demo through text, and it was backup plan acoustic from these Tucker Beathard, Jimmy Bell, and I think it's John Sherwood.
Okay.
I think it's Sherwood. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, they sent me a text, Tucker Beathard did, and he was like, hey, man, do you like this song? And I was like, dude, I freaking love this song. And I remember listening, my producer, Austin, was there, and he was like, hey, man, that song's sick. And I'm like, dude, you know who would crush this? Luke Combs. Like, truly, like, this isn't like, oh, I want to do a song with Luke Combs. This is like, Luke would crush this song. And he was like, yeah, but we don't know Luke Combs. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, we don't. So then I just like kind of, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm definitely putting that on my album. And then he invited me to do Concert for Carolina. And then we became like, we just kind of started cutting up that day. And it was just like, man, like, I really like this dude. It seems like we're like really getting along. And at the end of the night, he gave me his phone number. And I was like, man, is this like God telling me I should just shoot my shot right now? Like,
Yeah.
So I waited a little while because I was nervous. I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh, I don't know. But then finally one morning I sent the text and I was like, basically like, dude, I've had this song forever. I don't know what you're doing, but man, I think you would crush it. I think the song smash. And he texted me back a month later and he was like, dude, I'm in, let's do this song. And then fast forward to now, it's number 1 on country radio. So it's like,
Wow.
it kind of just, oh, dude, it's literally mind blowing. I have no idea what's going on. I always just say, I just work here. I'm like, dude, I have no idea what's happening right now. Same thing, dude. I got a song with the Kid Leroy.
Yeah.
Like, how does that even happen, man? Like, I've listened to Kid since, man, almost since he started like singing and stuff when he was like 14, 15 years old. Like, I remember watching him and being like, man, I love this kid. And then he went on to do like a song with Justin that Stay, and he had a massive hits himself. And I was just like already just a massive fan. And then his agent, Mike G, hit me up and was like, hey, do you want to go to dinner with Kid Leroy? And I'm like, oh my gosh, freaking heck yeah, I do. I'll go. Yeah. So then when we got to dinner, it was just the same thing. We just started cutting up and realized like, man, we're one and the same here. Like we're like almost the same person. This is crazy. And he actually asked me, he said, "Hey man, do you want to make music sometime? Like I really like just love your vibe and we've having so much fun tonight. Like we should make music sometime." And I'm like, "Yeah." So that night after dinner, he had a show and then he was like, "Man, you got to take me on Broadway and you got to take me out." And I was like, "All right, let's go." So we ended up having a night, but on the way we actually went to Morgan's. On the way to Morgan's, he was like, "Man, you got any songs?" And I'm like, "Dude, I actually wanted to play this earlier. It's a song that I feel like is sonically really close to what me and you could do. It's
Wow.
going on my album, but check this vibe out. Just check the vibe." It's like, I'm like, maybe not the song, but what about the vibe? And after the song was done, it was Lost. He was like, "Dude, I love just that song. Like that is like a smash, dude. Like that's a really big song." I'm like, "Dude, thanks." And he kept saying that all night. He's like, "Dude, play that song. Give Bailey Ox, play that song." And so finally, I just was like, "Dude, you just want to get on this thing? Like, you just want to get on the song?" And he was like, "Bro, I'd be honored to get on the song." So it's kind of like, same with Diplo. Diplo just showed up at my house one day. He just like
That sounds
showed
like a
up.
Diplo thing.
No, literally, he was like, "Hey, I'm on my way." And I'm like, "Holy crap, Diplo's on the way to the house. This is crazy." And he just sat right here in the same position as we are sitting right now. And he played me Ashes. And he was like, "Dude, I got this song. Listen." Boom. And I was like, "Dude, ah, I love this.
Yeah.
I love like the story of it's pretty cool. It's not something I usually talk about, but I like that it's different. The production was just different. I was like, this is so cool." And so, yeah, all these new collabs, they just happened like kind of by coincidence, man. That's what I've been saying. I'm like, dude, God is just taking care of me, man, because I've been meeting so many people that I'm so inspired by and have looked up to for a long time. And the fact that they want to do music with me is like, dude, crazy.
And it's a testament to your talent and you as a person. I really truly
Thanks.
believe that. I would love you, just selfishly, I would love to see you do like a full on, just your voice on like a dance song. I think would be so cool. So left field, but just in
Hey,
your head for the future.
hey, I am not opposed to anything, that's what I've said since I started music was like, I grew up in country. I'm rooted in country. I lived that life, but in the world, I don't care what it is. If I love it, I'm doing it. So I'm
I
down,
love
dude.
that.
BZX dance.
There you go.
Imagine I pop out with some like crazy dance and stuff.
That'd be so dope.
I ain't mad at it.
I'm rooting for it.
I'm calling you though. I'm calling you.
Hey, I'm there for you.
All right,
So
deal.
for the album, we've talked a lot about the collabs and the single, how well it's done. You're on the road right now,
Mhm.
and you are such a showman. Where did that come from?
Dude, thanks. I like God given. I have no idea. There's all these little things that people have said. They're like, you run around so much, like you don't get nervous. And I'm like, no, I get nervous standing. So if
Mm,
I'm standing at a mic, I'm nervous. But if I'm running around, I can't be that nervous because my energy can't keep up, I guess, or the nervousness can't keep up with like the energy. I don't know. But I would say like ADHD helps me a bunch. So dude, I would say ADHD and then also Morgan Wallen
mm,
because getting getting to be on tour with Morgan. So at first, when I started playing, it was like I had watched YouTube videos of like my favorite band Tesla
mm.
and Nickelback and all these just big artists, watching what they do and how they do it. And I was like, okay, this is live music. Okay, gotta like this is what I do. And then I would say I kind of found my groove, in the 2 o'clock spot on a festival, right? Like get started finding my groove and finding what I wanted to do. And then being on tour with Morgan really opened my eyes to like, I want to do that and I want to
Mm.
do that. Like that's sick. And that blow up thing is sick. Like, so I just learned a lot. Being on tour with him for 2 years was just like, whoa, I learned a lot. So then when I went to go do my tour, it was kind of like, okay, I want to do that, but I want to do it my way. And I want to do this, but I want to do it like this instead of that. And like, but I love, dude, creating my live show, finding moments to make it more awesome and impactful. And just that is so fun to me. I have a blast creating that. So I would say I'm like not to where I want to be, but like it's been so much fun learning, like trying new dance moves and trying what works and what doesn't. And yeah, so it's been fun, but God given, dude. I have no idea. I don't know how I'm here. Literally.
I am bummed because I broke my kneecap in February, and I couldn't even
my
drive.
gosh.
Yeah, I'm 5'7", and I was wearing Crocs, and my best friend who's 6'4", has been a basketball player all of his life. I was like, "You think I could dunk?" And he was like, "No, absolutely not." And then we had his son's 5th birthday party at a sports complex, and there was an indoor court. And I was like, "Remember you said I can't dunk?" He was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Watch this." And then I was like feet away from the hoop, 10-foot hoop, went right down on my kneecap on the hardwood. Couldn't drive for 3 months. It's been a mess, but
Dude,
I
that is
missed. Isn't that
crazy.
wild? I should say like I was like saving nuns from a tiger attack or something, but
Yeah.
no. But I missed your show.
Ah,
Because I couldn't go to any shows. So I need to know, as your this kind of hopefully leg one is kind of winding down. Is there going to be a leg two to support the album?
I think we're gonna have, hopefully, we're working on it right now, but I'm hoping to have another tour. So
Awesome.
honestly, bro, I'm never quitting touring.
Yeah.
I'm never quitting. This is like all I want to do. I just love touring so much. So of course there's gonna be another tour next year. And probably the year after that and the year after that. God willing, of course. But yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to come see you for my first Bailey show. I will be there. I can't
Let's
wait, bro.
go.
Yes,
Dude, I can't
sir.
wait. Hopefully, honestly, you know what? I would say that your injury has probably saved me all tour because I swing in on a rope swing. So I
Mm.
bet he was like, okay, I'm going to have him break his knees so he'll be good. So,
Hey, I'll take it for you, man. I'll take it.
so basically what I'm saying is thank you. Thank
I
you.
got you. I got you.
How's the knee now?
I was on crutches for like 5 months and a full brace from like my hip to my ankle. Now I'm on I'm supposed to be using a cane, but I'm kind of
Yeah.
hard headed. So now I have like a small
Okay.
you know, sleeve or whatever. But I'm an active person. I normally am traveling a lot for my
Yeah.
show and all, and that all just stopped, which sucked. So I'm a huge horror movie fan. And I ended up writing this book because I had 3 months I couldn't drive. I was
Yeah.
relying on other people. So I wrote this book called 31 Days of Horror, which is like it's like a challenge for my listeners and viewers. Each day in October, I've chosen a different horror movie, and there's like interactive elements and like behind the
Oh,
scenes
fire.
stuff and all. So I tried to do something productive because I feel like you and I are similar in that way that like I can't be still. And
Yeah.
so I'm kind of forced to be stuck in my house, and I'm like, okay, what can I do? What can I do that's creative? All right, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to,
That's pretty crazy though, to be
yeah.
like, dude, I broke my knee. I think I'm going to write a book.
Yeah.
That's
I was like, my house is the cleanest it's ever been in my life because, I was like using my crutches and I would sit down on the floor and then just like hand do it. I'm like, after like the third or fourth day, I had run out of things to do, and I'm
yeah.
like, what am I going to do now? So then I
Oh
just
yeah.
started getting creative, finding that outlet. So
Write a book.
yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
fire.
sir.
That's so cool. Well, dude, seems like you're on the home stretch then. Cool. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, I'm getting
Yeah.
there. I'm absolutely
Nice.
getting there. Bailey, the album is incredible. The song again, number one, another number one
Oh,
as we speak. And you got what, a couple of shows left, right? On
yep.
this tour?
I think we have one show left.
One show. Okay.
So, yep.
And they'll be able to follow you for tour dates for next year, and I will be there myself, bro. I can't
Let's
wait.
go.
I can't wait, bro. Please come on come on whenever you want, but your
Oh
next
yeah.
album, your next project, let's do it up.
Yeah, dude, we've got a lot more to talk about. I can feel it. I'm like, I want to talk more. So yeah,
Absolutely.
oh, yeah, we'll be back.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me on this one, dude. This is so cool. I once again never thought I'd ever be where I'm at. So this is really cool getting to talk to you and talk about that. Thanks.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for being such a great artist. Thank you for being such a great guy, being open and vulnerable. I appreciate it, bro.
Oh yeah. Much love always, bro. And
much love,
man.
Later.
It's my boy Bailey Zimmerman. I love that dude so much. He's just like a genuinely amazing soul and such a talented guy, and I just love him. I can't say enough good stuff about him. All right. That's another episode of Pop Culture Weekly. Huge thanks to Michael Chavez, James Wan, Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga, and the homie Bailey Zimmerman for joining me. If you liked today's episode, please hit that follow, subscribe button so you never miss when I embarrass myself in front of celebrities. And hey, leave a review, unless it's bad, in which case just write it down in your diary. I'm Kyle McMahon, and just like The Conjuring, I'll probably haunt your speakers again. All right, I'll see you next week. I love you. We out.
Thank you for listening to Pop Culture Weekly. Hear all the latest at popcultureweekly.com.
Rock in a hard place, red wine and mistakes, tears roll down your face when I walked out that door.